Morning, guys. I'm watching my kitties over here at the door. They're playing with the leaves that are blowing around. It is super, super windy today. So welcome to today's Cards and Coffee with my crazy cats that are right over here. The card that we're doing today is one that I actually dreamt last night. And each month we do a team card, do a swap, so we make 10 cards, and that's what I had in my mind when I went to sleep last night. And I got my team card designed, and then it's like when I got up, it's like, ooh, I could turn that into a holiday card, so that's what we're going to do today. All right, so let's flip everything around here. Let's get my settings up. All right, you're going to disappear for a minute. So what we're going to be using is this winter snow embossing folder, and we haven't played with embossing folders yet, so I'm going to show you how those work. And then this set is the still scenes, and I love it. It has a snow globe, a little house, a couple of sentiments, and some snowflakes here. So I'm going to get set up in the background with my computer. So that I can, no sound. We don't want any feedback. All right. So when you get in here, say hey. When you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. So we're going to be working with all kinds of new stuff today. This is a window sheet. These come in 12 by 12 squares. They are very versatile. We're going to be stamping on one today. So, and then we have some of our out of the August to December mini catalog or holiday catalog. This is some of the holiday foil. So it's foil on one side, it's white on the other. They come in a pack of red and green. We're going to be using green. White cardstock, red cardstock. So the first thing we're going to do is to cut our card bases, as usual. Nothing new here. So at 5.5. And then we're going to score this one at 4 1/4. And then we're going to cut this one just slightly smaller, like between 4 1/4 and 4 3/16, where there's not actually even a line. And there we go. And then we're going to trim just a scotch off of one edge of this. This is going to be the piece that we emboss. All right, so let's go ahead and emboss this. So our embossing folders are a translucent plastic piece. It's hard plastic. And one side has raised snowflakes, the opposite side has depressed snowflakes. So we're just going to slide this in here, close it. Now we're going to send it through our cut and emboss machine, and you know that it's off camera. So I am still here. And it feels like we're going to need just a little bit of a shim. So bear with me for a second. The little embossing folders all are a little different in size, so you kind of have to play around with your machine, find the size that's going to work for you. That's one of the fun things about having the cut and emboss machines. Still needs to be a little bit higher. Just play around with it until we get the right combination. The one that I was working with earlier today was quite a bit thicker than this one is. I'm still here. Okay, that feels better. That's going to give us a decent emboss. All right, so this is, we're back and out of our machine. I've got quite a bit of lag because I'm looking at the computer. And hey, Kathleen, welcome. Good morning. How are you? Okay, so it looks like we've got at least a 30-second lag, maybe 40. And here is the piece that is embossed. If I can get it in the light so that you can see the snowflakes that are embossed on it. We've got one side that's raised, one side that's depressed, and we're going to use the raised side. So we'll set that aside for now. And we're going to do some stamping on our clear window sheet. And here's my crazy cats. They haven't even been on the table, but I still have fur. All right, when we stamp on our window sheets, we're going to use the StazOn ink. This is a solvent ink, so it is going to adhere to our window sheets. And when you open this, it has a little bit of a protective inner cover. Don't throw this away. You want to hold on to that because that's going to help keep your ink from drying out. I like to just put it back in the lid there. All right, so for this first one, we are only going to get this outside edge of our snow globe. So I'm just going to go around the outside edge of this and not get those inside hash marks here. All right, that looks pretty good. And these are very clear, so make sure that you can see where you're stamping at. You don't want to get too far off, too close to the edge. And that's all we wanted was the outside of that snow globe right there. This ink will clean off just fine with the Stampin' Mist on your Stampin' Scrub. All right, now we're going to use this cute little house and put it in the background of our snow globe. So we'll ink that all up. we're doing this early on in the process because this ink takes a little bit to dry and we don't want to smudge it. Now we also need another one of the snow globes, but for this one we only want those inside hash marks. So I'm going to make sure that I have this cleaned off really well and stamp. And it's still got a little bit of a shadow on it. So now we're going to just stamp these little hash marks. And this one is going to be our top cover. You'll see what it's going to look like when we're done. So just be careful and patient with it. And this will give it just a little bit of depth once we get it all put together. And that's all we wanted. All right, now we're going to set this aside. You know what though? We're going to be adding some glittery shimmery. So it also needs to dry. Let's go ahead and just do that now. We're going to be using our shimmery crystal effects, and we're also going to use some Winkostella. And with that, we're just going to kind of fill in some of the center spaces here where we're not going to be putting the crystal effects, because I just want a little bit of shimmer around everything so that it looks like snow. And then with our shimmery crystal effects, we're kind of going to tip our trees so that it looks like there's snow on them. And it's going to be a little bit globby, and that's okay, because that's the look I'm after, is like the snow is piled up. And that's what's going to make it take just a little extra time to dry. All right, now we're just going to set that aside and hope that nobody jumps up here on the table. All right, with our white, we're going to cut that just slightly less than 5.5, like 5 and 3/8. And then we're going to take this one down to 4 3/8. This is going to be our inside sentiment piece. So when we have our cards folded, because this red can be hard to see when you write on it, so we're going to do an inside panel here, like so. But before we glue that, what are you guys doing over there? There's leaves blowing right outside the door. So that's what the little scurrying and scratching that you can hear in the background is. All right, so before we glue this down, let's do a little stamping. This set comes with this really beautiful sentiment. May the timeless message of Christmas fill your heart and home with joy today and always. So we'll go ahead and stay with our Stays On ink, just so that all of our blacks match. You could use Memento if you wanted to. You could use a different colored ink if you wanted to. It's up to you. I'm going to be going this way. And then we're going to seal this down with our Stampin' Seal. You can glue this down, but know that wherever you put glue on the back of this, you're going to be able to see a little bit of ghosting of the glue there. So we'll just use our Stampin' Seal and not have to worry about it. All right, there is the inside of our card. Now we have this beautiful snowflake piece that we embossed, and we're also going to be hitting that with some Wink of Stella, because holidays are all about the shimmer, right? Shimmer and glitter, and we're just going to kind of draw along our snowflakes. When this dries, you're not going to see all of those, the hash marks. You're just going to see the shimmer. And some of these bigger ones, I'm just going to hit the tops of the embossing a little bit more, and then on the smaller ones, I'm just drawing like the asterisk. And you can see the ones that I did first are already starting to dry, and that's starting to disappear a little bit. So how are you doing with your Christmas shopping? I think I'm about halfway done on all of ours. And my direct family has decided we're not having a holiday celebration, at least for Thanksgiving this year. And part of my family is in the process of moving from one coast to the other, so they've requested no holiday, but we'll be celebrating their move instead. So we'll actually probably have two celebrations in 2021. One when they get here, which will be in August, and then another full-blown holiday in December again. Okay. So by the time we're done here, all of this is dry. but when I turn the card and it hits the light, you can see all of the glitter and shimmer on there. This is so pretty. I absolutely love Winkestella. Well, good morning, Katie. How are you? Excuse me. I'm glad to see you. Oh, the other thing that we need to stamp is on our foil sheet, we're going to stamp the base for our snow globe. So let's get that done too, because that has to dry for just a minute as well. Did I tell you there was going to be fussy cutting involved today? Well, there is. We don't mind the fussy cutting though. This is a simple one to cut out. Okay, Katie, what we have done so far is stamped our clear window sheet and hit it with our shimmery crystal effects. And then we have stamped the inside of our card, embossed. We've done a lot before you got here. Sorry, you're late, but we're catching you up. And then we hit it with the Winkestella, and that's where you came in at. So you're all caught up, girl. All right, so this needs to dry for just a minute, and we are going to do a cute wrap with our, this is the the metallic mesh ribbon. This is actually from the Halloween set, but it just flows right into holiday so perfectly with this shimmery silver. And what we're going to do is just tie a knot down here. It's going to get covered up, so we just need enough to tie a knot with. I know, you need a new phone.
Hi, Katie.
As soon as I said you need a new phone, Cole says, "Hi, Katie." He knows too. Oh, coffee. Thank you, babe.
I'm missing component.
Yes. I had coffee this morning because I've been up since 4 getting this card out of my head. I made a prototype and then decided all of the things that I wanted to change about it. And so I've already drank 1 pot of coffee. It was a half pot, really, because I was using up part of a sample bag. All right, so like that. Now I'm going to touch this and make sure that we can fussy cut on it. So if we have a little smudge, nope, I think it's ready. Yay! All right, so I'll just liberate our stamped design from the rest of the sheet. And these foil sheets are pretty thick too. It's not like foil. This is like super heavy duty cardstock with foil. I love it. You know what? I just saw that I am using my ribbon scissors. But you guys know I've been talking about getting adhesive scissors, and so all the other scissors would have to move down, and these would become my new paper scissors. So I guess that's happening today. Katie says, hi, Cole. All right, so this is going to be our snow globe base. And I'm going to show you something cool on here because we're going to put these on with Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm trying to find where I put my sheet of dimensionals. All right, so we're going to do one on each side. But to give it even more of a 3D look, we're actually going to we're going to stack two of them together. So we have a really thick one now. And we're going to put that down here at the bottom. And you will see even more of a reason for this in just a minute. Let's take a look at our window sheet. I gotta touch it to see if it's ready. It's not ready. All right, so while we wait for that, if I could put it over here under the light, get it warm, make it dry faster. We'll try. All right, enjoy some coffee. Well, we're kind of at a standstill here, guys. Maybe while we're waiting for this, the shimmery crystal effects to dry, we can do another card real quick. Let's just do that. So let me think. Let's put this out of the way. Grabbing some cardstock here. All right, so let's cut this at 5.5, do our score. I know what we can do. We can do like the super quick, just got home from work and we don't have a whole lot of time to spend on one card. We need to get it popped out so that we can get it in the mail. Let's do that. All right, for this, I'm going to switch over to our Memento ink because I just want a nice black ink. Because not every card that you do has to be super, super involved. I'm going to open that back up so that cards can be really cute and simple. Isn't that Snowglobe cute? I love it. I love it so much. All right, let's put our little house inside of this one too. Our snow globe base. Isn't that beautiful? I just love this stamp set together. All right, the one fancy-ish thing that we're going to do on this one, I've got some Whisper White, and part of the stamp set are these little snowflakes and stars. So we'll just give it, because our snow globe needs to look like it has snow in it, right? Yeah. And then let's grab our gold foil, and we'll stamp our sentiment on this one. So one of the other sentiments that comes in this set is just a season's greetings. And since we're stamping on the foil with this one, I am going to go ahead and use the Stays On ink because I don't want it to smudge or come off. Yeah, that'll have to dry, but not as long as what our shimmery crystal effects are taking over here. Let's see how they're doing. You know, I'm afraid to touch it again. Oh, that's feeling better though. I think it's helping having it under the light over here. Okay, and on this one, let's go ahead and stamp. Maybe we can just stamp some snowflakes. So we'll get our white back out. Now, if you really were pressed for time on this card, you would want to probably not use the white ink because it is a pigment ink. It does take a little while to dry. But not as long as what some of the other ones do. And I'm just going to hit that really lightly down the edge. So. And then, because you know that I don't like a naked envelope, I'm going to use Memento and our little house. And I'm going to just hang it a little bit off of each edge there. So it kind of looks like the rest of, you're seeing panning across there. Anyway, I'm not explaining that very well, but I think you get what I'm trying to do. Isn't this stamp set cute? I know, I love it too. And it's been sitting over there on my shelf and I completely forgot about it. And then I was looking through things last night and it's like, what do I want to use? And oh my goodness, I couldn't believe that this one was still over there. And then last night I had a dream about the tea. Yes, you guys, I actually do. I stamp in my sleep. So I had a dream about the cards that I'm doing for January's team swap. And then it's like, oh wait, I can totally make this a cute holiday card. All right, so the envelope for that one is done. Now we're going to just cut out a very simple sentiment bar. If you had a tag punch, you could use that on here as well. All right, and then we're going to leave that one just a little bit longer on this edge and then give it a cute little flag end. So remember to make a really nice flag, go up from the middle as far as you want to cut, and then cut from each corner to the center. And then we're going to put that on with dimensionals. Remember to support your center. And I think with just a little bit of a bow, I don't know, now that I've got the red bow tied, I don't think I'm feeling the red bow. Let's go back to our silver for that. 'Cause I love this ribbon, it is so cool. Let's just tie a cute bow with this. There we go. And we can just put that up here like so. And super quick and simple, but also a very cute card that I would love to get from anybody. All right, so that we don't have to stand there and wait for that, this is what I really like doing to attach bows. Stampin' blocks are perfect for little weights. All right, now let's go back to our window sheet and see how we're doing here. Oh, we're good. I can touch it all over. Yay. All right, so we're going to be cutting this out on the outside edge of our stamp. And you can see I'm giving it like about 1/16 of an inch outside of the stamped line. Don't worry, because by the time we're done, you're not going to see that stamped line. I just don't want to encroach upon the room that we have in our snow globe. And you will see exactly what I'm talking about in just a minute. All right, now we're not going to cut that other one out yet because we really don't know what to do with it at this point. But here is something else that is new we haven't played with yet. These are the foam adhesive strips. And it is a card full of, yep, you got it, foam adhesive strips. They are just like our dimensionals, but they are a little bit different, and I'm going to show you how. So see the height of our dimensionals? Our foam strips are just tiny, tiny bit taller. Now all of this is going to make so much more sense in a bit. Just remember that we put two dimensionals together over there too. And what we're going to do is just go around the edge of our clear sheet. And this is malleable. Just go slow and you can get it to take the shape of that corner, that curve. And now you can see why we cut just on the outside of our stamp line, because we're actually covering up the stamp line without making our snow globe smaller. When you get to the end, just cut that off. And I'm actually going to flip this over so I have two sticky sides, but I want that one because I know it'll match up pretty well. And then we're going to go across the bottom as well. I am really abusing my scissors today. All right, now we're going to peel that off of there. Do you like shaker cards? Because that's what we're making. I like them within reason. And this one is really pretty and elegant. So I just take some, not a ton, but just enough for some interest. It's about a pinch. If we were cooking, I would call that a pinch. Wow, got really dry air here today. It's staticky. All right, now let's go back to our other one that we stamped with just the hash marks on it. And this is sticky. Remember, that's sticky. Make sure that your snowflakes are not touching your sticky. And we're going to line those up. It's going to give it a little bit of depth. And when you get it where you want it, just go ahead and lay it down. All right, now we're going to cut this out. And you see why we didn't stamp the outside edge of this one, because we needed to not see that line. Because snow globes in real life don't have a line around them. And you can see that we covered up the line there. We just used it as a guide. All right, now we have this cute little snow shaker. And let's grab our card. Now that we have our ribbon around our card, we're going to go ahead and attach this to the card base. And I think I'm going to go ahead and use stamp and seal for that too. That will also help hold down our ribbon so that it doesn't go anywhere. So nobody likes an unruly ribbon. Now, if your design is super embossed and it makes your paper curl a little bit, you might want to use glue instead of your stamp and seal, or take a little bit extra and just run it down through there so that it straightens things back out. All right, so I'm going to grab our snow globe base. Now I want to show you, so here's the difference between the dimensionals and the strips, and 2 dimensionals and the strip. What this is going to do is to pop our base up so that it looks like it has a curve to it. So that gives it just a little more touch of realism here. We're going to put our base down first, and I'm going to kind of pinch this together because I want the ribbon to go between the dimensionals, and then we can fluff it back out. All right, then we're going to take our snow globe and we're going to just hit the edges with our fine tip glue. Is this, you know what, let's not use the fine tip glue. We're going to use the shimmery crystal effects, because that way if any of it does seep out, it's just going to look like more sparkle. And it's holidays, so we love our sparkle. Wow, hear that? That's wind here. Our wind is so bad today. Which is why they're still sitting over by the door watching the leaves. And then we're going to put just a little bit of glue right across here to attach our base to it. Pull that up a tiny bit until the bottom layer disappears. And then press it all down. Morning, Jen. How are you? All right, so there we go. We've got our cute little snow globe shaker card with our sentiment on the inside. And then we have our super simple, you could run home after work and create one of these, get it in the mail. And I hope you've had fun today. I've had fun with you guys today. Enjoy your morning. Hold on just a second, let me turn you around. Okay, so a couple things before I get off of here. Remember that tomorrow night at 6:30 Pacific, which would be 9:30 Eastern, and whatever it is in between where you are, we're going to play with the paper pumpkins. Woohoo! Everybody that has theirs, bring them. And if you don't have a paper pumpkin yet, get signed up so that you can play with us next month. But do come and join us this month too, so that you can see what they're all about. And then also later, watch for a post from Katie and she'll tell you what time. But we're going to do a Manny room later today sometime. So, because we both have naked fingers, and if you want to do Manny's with us, get your old polish off and give them at least a couple hours to rest. All right, you guys. I will see you later. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you later.